The Bible calls him the most evil king Israel ever produced. But Assyria, the greatest military empire of the ancient world, named their entire nation after him for 150 years. His name was Omri, and by the end of this video, I am going to show you something carved in stone 2,700 years ago, sitting in a museum in London right now that changes the entire way you read this story. But I am not telling you what it is yet. To understand it, we have to start at the moment Israel broke in half. If you want the full story of what caused that fracture, the Solomon video is right here. Everything in this video flows directly from what Solomon destroyed. Solomon's son, Rehoboam, inherited a kingdom at its absolute peak. Temple standing, treasury full, every surrounding nation paying tribute. On his very first day in office, the northern tribes sent one request. "Your father worked us to the bone. Give us relief, and we will serve you." His older advisors said, "Give them what they ask. You will have their loyalty forever." His younger advisors said something different. "Tell them this, my father used whips. I will use scorpions." Rehoboam chose the scorpions. In a single afternoon, he lost 10 of the 12 tribes. A man named Jeroboam became king of those 10 northern tribes. Rehoboam kept Jerusalem and the 2 in the south. One kingdom became 2, and Jeroboam immediately faced a problem that would define the next 2 centuries. If you are getting value from this, please consider subscribing. We are genuinely trying to grow this community, and 90% of you watching right now are not subscribed yet. It costs nothing, and it genuinely helps us keep making content like this. God's temple was in Jerusalem, which was now his rival's capital. Every time a northern Israelite traveled south to worship, Jeroboam feared their loyalty was drifting back toward the house of David. So he built 2 golden calves, one in the north, one in the south, and told the people, "Behold the God who brought you out of Egypt." Most people hear that and picture obvious paganism, but here's the detail that stopped me. In ancient Near Eastern culture, the bull was often not the deity, it was the pedestal the invisible God stood upon. Jeroboam was not importing a foreign god. He was creating an alternative way to worship the same God, one that required no pilgrimage to his rival's city. Almost right, and that is exactly what made it so dangerous. A religion that is almost right is the hardest compromise to see and the easiest to stay inside for generations. King after king in the north received the same obituary. He walked in the sin of Jeroboam. The same phrase repeated like a drumbeat for 50 years. Until a military commander named Omri seized the throne, and Jeroboam's story gave way to something far more powerful. Omri gets 6 verses in the Bible. Verdict: the most evil king yet. Then the text simply moves on. But outside the Bible, an entirely different story. Archaeologists excavating the ancient Near East in the 1800s found inscriptions where Israel was not called Israel at all. It was called Beit Omri, the House of Omri, not a tribe, not a covenant. Omri's house, used for the entire nation for 150 years after he passed away. What did Omri actually do? He ended 50 years of civil war. He built Samaria, a brand new capital constructed from scratch on a purchased hill. Archaeologists have confirmed its remains: massive walls, Phoenician-style architecture, the footprint of a genuine regional power, and he sealed that power through a royal marriage. His son Ahab married the Phoenician princess Jezebel. Omri's chapter closes there. But what came through that marriage is where the real darkness begins. Jezebel did not arrive alone. She brought Baal, the Canaanite storm deity, god of rain, thunder, and agricultural abundance, and installed him as the official state religion. She funded 450 Baal prophets and 400 Asherah prophets, all on royal payroll. And archaeology confirms what followed. Thousands of Baal and Asherah figurines have been recovered from ordinary homes across northern Israel. Not from temples, from kitchens, from doorways, from everyday life. This had soaked through the entire culture. Meanwhile, the Kurkh Monolith, an Assyrian inscription now in the British Museum, lists Ahab of Israel as contributing 2,000 chariots to a military coalition against Assyria, the largest force of any kingdom in the entire coalition. The most spiritually corrupt dynasty in Israel's history was also its most militarily dominant. So where was God in all of this? I want to know where you are landing on this. Drop a comment below. I genuinely read every one. The answer walks into the text with no introduction, no background, no lineage, just one line. Elijah the Tishbite appeared before Ahab and said 4 words that would reshape everything. There will be no rain. For 3.5 years, not a drop fell. Crops failed, rivers dried. The land Baal was supposed to sustain through his dominion over storms was dying in complete silence. Because Baal was silent, that silence was the confrontation, and it ended on Mount Carmel. 2 altars, 2 sacrifices, 1 condition. Whichever God answered with fire was the real God of Israel. 450 Baal prophets prayed for hours. They cut themselves with swords, a practice confirmed in ancient Canaanite texts as authentic Baal ritual, blood running down their arms, still nothing. Then Elijah rebuilt his altar, drenched the offering in water until a trench around it flooded, and prayed 1 quiet sentence: Lord God of Abraham, let it be known today that you are God in Israel. Fire fell. It consumed the offering, the stones, the soil, and evaporated every drop of water in the trench. The Baal prophets were executed. Rain came. Baal was exposed as powerless, but Jezebel was still alive. The dynasty was still standing. Exposing a false god is not the same as ending the family that imported one, that required a completely different kind of man. If you want to support what we do here, there is a Buy Me a Coffee link and a Patreon link in the description. Even a small contribution helps us keep producing research like this. No pressure, but it means a lot. A military commander named Jehu was privately anointed king with 1 mandate: destroy the house of Ahab. Jehu moved immediately. 2 kings fell in a single afternoon, the king of Israel and the king of Judah, who was visiting that day. He returned to the royal city. Jezebel appeared at an upper window, face painted, hair arranged, a queen who had decided to meet her end on her own terms. Jehu ordered her servants to throw her down. They did. He rode over her, went inside the palace, and ate. Then he killed every remaining son of Ahab, 70 of them. He summoned every Baal worshipper in the kingdom to a celebration, and once they were inside the temple, he surrounded it and executed every single one. He tore down the Baal temple and made it a public latrine. God responded, "Because you have done what is right in my eyes, your sons to the 4th generation will sit on the throne of Israel." And then Jehu's obituary arrives. He did not turn from the sins of Jeroboam, the golden calves at Bethel and Dan. He destroyed Baal. He left Jeroboam's compromise completely untouched. He eliminated the obvious corruption. He preserved the convenient one. And now we arrive at the artifact I promised you at the beginning. In the British Museum in London, there is a black stone obelisk, 2 meters tall, carved by the Assyrian king Shalmaneser III. On one of its carved panels, a man is face down, forehead on the floor, hands stretched forward, completely prostrate before the Assyrian emperor. The inscription beneath him reads, "Jehu, son of Omri, let that settle." The only surviving image of any Israelite king from this entire era. Not a portrait of power, not a battle scene, a man face down before the empire that would erase his nation from history. He destroyed the corrupt family. He bowed to the corrupt system. He removed Jezebel, but he never removed the posture. And that is the thread running through all of it. Not evil kings versus good kings, but a nation that kept deciding which corruption was convenient to destroy and which one to quietly keep. Jeroboam opened the door. Omri built a dynasty on top of it. Jezebel walked something darker through. Elijah exposed it. Jehu dismantled everything except the one thing that mattered most. 2 generations later, Assyria returned and erased the northern kingdom entirely. The same empire, the same stone, the same name carved beneath Jehu's face. 3 artifacts confirm this story from outside the Bible: the Mesha Stele in the Louvre, the Kurkh Monolith in London, and the Black Obelisk. 3 languages, 3 nations, all pointing at the same small kingdom and the same extraordinary events. God was patient with Israel for 2 centuries, but patience is not the same as approval. And the compromise that feels almost harmless, the almost trite version of something true, is always the one that does the most damage over time. If this video opens something up for you, I have another one linked right here. And if you are not subscribed yet, now is the time. Thank you genuinely for watching.